Ramirez outclasses brave Billam-Smith to unify titles. Mexican Gilberto Ramirez defeated Britain's brave and bloodied Chris Billam-Smith on points in Riyadh to become unified WBA and WBO cruiserweight champion. The victory was a comfortable one for the Zurdo on the cards, the judges at ringside scoring it 116 to 112, 116 to 112 and 115 to 113. Ramirez moves to 47 to 1 with his only professional defeat being by former light heavyweight world champion Dimitri Bivol. He dominated the majority of the fight in Saudi Arabia and landed a high volume of devastating blows as Billam-Smith admirably fought on, staying on his feet for the full 12 rounds, but he was not at the level to dethrone Ramirez. This defeat is the second blemish on the Bournemouth fighter's record, his other loss to Londoner Richard Riakporhe in 2019. "I guess there's a bit of irony," Billam-Smith said in the ring after the bout. "My initials are obviously CBS, I say, consistency builds success, and I think he had the consistency tonight. They deserve to come out with the win. I have a huge amount of respect for him." He added, "Next I will enjoy a rest, enjoy Christmas. We'll have to go back and keep improving." Meanwhile, Ramirez continues his fine streak at his new weight, winning a second world title in only his second fight at cruiserweight. "I feel great. I'm a true champion, everyone saw," Ramirez said. "I mean, I'm prepared for those guys. We know he was a tough fighter. A strong guy. He was a champion. It was an honor for me to fight him and get the belt. Next I want to unify with all the champions. That's the main goal for me." WBO champion Billam-Smith was the first to make his way to the ring at the Venue Arena, a stern look on his face as he completed a lap of the canvas with his arm raised. It was far from the raucous crowd Billam-Smith is used to back home, but at ringside there was some familiar faces with Newcastle United boss Eddie Howe, also a legendary former player and manager of Billam-Smith's beloved AFC Bournemouth, and some of his players in attendance. Saudi Arabia's public investment fund owns a majority stake in Newcastle, as the country continues to invest millions into sport. The kingdom has been accused of using sport and famous sportspeople as vehicles for sport washing, as Saudi Arabia continues to be criticized for its human rights record. Just before the first bell, chants for both fighters could be heard, and as it got underway, it was first Billam-Smith who landed clean. He connected with some decent shots that snapped back the head of Ramirez. However, Ramirez got to work in the rounds that followed, landing some powerful shots, and in the fourth round, connecting with a huge right hook that ended up cutting Billam-Smith over his left eye. In the fifth, the Mexican stunned the Briton with a huge left hand just before the bell rang. The referee paused the action at the start of the seventh round, such was the damage done to Billam-Smith's left eye. The ringside doctor inspected the cut, and confirmed the fight could continue. "It was a few rounds there where I couldn't see out of that eye," Billam-Smith admitted. Ramirez continued on his destructive path in the final rounds, landing the more significant and eye-catching shots. The Mexican appeared to tire towards the end of the bout, Billam-Smith having moments of joy, but it was all too little too late, with the Britain's coach Shane McGuigan vocally frustrated at how the fight was playing out. Billam-Smith emptied his gas tank in the final minute, but it was not to be, as Ramirez became the first Mexican to unify world titles at cruiserweight. Ramirez has now set himself up to further unify the cruiserweight division, with both IBF champion